Shabbat Shalom.
Your flight on time?
I think so.
Good evening.
Shmeira Shabbat on page 11 in our prayer books. Ki Shmeira Shabbat el yishmereini. Ki Shmeira Shabbat el yishmereini. Oti leomead beno uveini. Oti leomead beno uveini. Ki Shmeira Shabbat el yishmereini. Ki Shmeira Shabbat el yishmereini. Oti leomead beno uveini. Oti leomead beno uveini.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much for being here in person and online. It's nice to see all of you. We're going to begin on page 6. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Snowflakes, my mother called them, by Marge Piercy. Snowflakes, my mother called them. My grandfather made paper cuts until she was too blind to see. The intricate birds, trees, Magen Davids, moons, flowers that appeared like magic when the folded paper was opened. My mother made simpler ones, abstract. She never saved them, not hers, not mine. It was a winter game. Usually we had only newsprint to play with. Sometimes we used old wrapping paper, white sheets from the bakery. Often Grandma tacked hers to the walls or on the window that looked on the street, the east window where the sun rose hidden behind tenements, where she faced to pray. I remember one with deer, delicate hooves, fine antlers for Pesach. I had forgotten. I had lost it all until a woman sent me a paper cut to thank me for a poem. And then in my hand, I felt a piece of past materialize. A snowflake, long melted, evaporated, cowering, and once again, tower-necked fragile deer stood, made of skill and absence. Continue on page 2 with the lighting of the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 13.
If you'd like the English, it's also on page 344 in the back if you want to travel to the back of our prayer book. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir hadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir hadash. I will sing unto God of the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir hadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
I encourage you to sit back, relax, perhaps close your eyes if you feel comfortable. You can uncross your legs and arms to let go of all restrictions. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Sunday. Hold on to the things that made you smile that day and bring that into your next breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Monday. Hold on to the sunshine you basked in on Monday. Bring that into your next breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Tuesday. Hold on to the delicious meals you had that day and bring that into your next breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Wednesday. Hold on to the peaceful sleep you had that day. Bring that into your next breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Thursday. Hold on to the person you hugged that day. Bring them into your next breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of Friday. Hold on to the darkness as Shabbat has arrived. Bring those feelings of excitement into your breath. Breathe in the air of Shabbat and breathe out the air of your whole week. Breathe in and breathe out Shabbat has begun. Page 20.
Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor bezachor b'dibur echad Yishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litzchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat nechu v'necha כי היא מקור הברכה. לראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת תקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת תקבלה. כי תעוררי, תעוררי, כי בעורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שתעברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת תקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת תקבלה.
Please rise and face the door.
בואי בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה וסחלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. You shall be holy, Ba'aladan Solovi. You are standing on holy ground. Your life is holy ground. You are standing in the Holy of Holies. Your life is the Holy of Holies. You are a shining and pure soul, sanctified into life by God. Life is a holy convocation, holy time, holy place, holy image, holy space. See holiness as the spark of the divine, invisible to the naked eye, the residue of God's presence, the ripple of wonder and the shiver of incomprehension. When the infinite touches the finite, and the divine touches the mundane, and you shall be holy, for God is holy. Page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Page 29. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Please rise for the Baruch. Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim u'bitvuna mishanei itim u'mechalif et hazmanim u'mesader et hakochavim b'mishmiratehem birakira kirtzono Forei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom u'mevi layla, uma'avdil ben yom u'vein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam ba'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 33. Just below the bottom line. Torah is what God has revealed to us and what we discern of God. Ideas and ideals, laws and mitzvot, our religious heritage. It unfolds our memories of Abraham and Sarah, of Moses and Miriam and the prophets. It is legislation and explanation, allowing questions that challenge, answers that inspire, all a quest for meaning. It is our way of life, a path for our souls, and the design for a better world. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Hero Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious creation forever. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On page 37, underneath the bottom line, when people come to you for help, do not turn them off with pious words, saying, "Have faith and take your troubles to God." Act instead as if there were no God, as though there were only one person in all the world who could help, only yourself. Continue on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא
Page 43. We can read together at the bottom. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Our prayer for Shabbat V'Shamru on the top of page 44. V'Shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ridolam V'Shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ridolam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ritolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ritolam uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ritolam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat l'dorotam v'ritolam.
The next section of our service is the Amidah, something you might be familiar with, but perhaps you don't always know what we're saying when we say those prayers together. So the first one, the Avot v'Imahot, speaks to our ancestors. And the second part, Givarot, talks about God's might and power. And the third one we do together is about holiness, the Kiddushah. And the other ones that we read together, of usually in English readings, those are for thanking God and looking for peace, hoping for a better tomorrow. We do all of these things together to hope that with all of us together we can accomplish all of these things, not just one of us by ourselves. So we'll continue on page 46. Please rise if you're able to.
Adonai sefatai tivtach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, elyon, gomel chasadim tovim, vekoneh hakol, vezocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, umevi geula livnei b'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Page 55. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat we try to become attuned to the holiness of time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Abraham Joshua Heschel. Page 59. We join together at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 63. We reach for you, our God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. Let us stop the wheels of every day to be aware of Shabbat. Find the stillness of a sanctuary which the soul cherished. Renew the covenant of an ancient people. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own deeds against the heaviness of the world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness, where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness, from which we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with this strength, we will turn again to your service. We'll take time for personal prayer and reflection.
Shalom, shalom, bimromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Page 62. V'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom imromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, amen.
We offer a prayer for Israel on page 259. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And
Amen.
together we say amen. We want to offer a blessing of healing for those in our community, in our family, and those around us. This week we are thinking of Annie, Isabella Cecilia, Joe Crane, Carol DeVore, Sue Farber, David Heiger, Howard Katz, Sally Keaton, Ron Levin, Nomi Merkin, Carol Benovowitz, Nina Shea DeVries, Branya Spector, Suzanne Spilkin, Tracy Taub, and Sharon Wolf. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so. We think of those in the hospitals, nursing homes, and rehab facilities who've been known to say a prayer for them and offer this on their behalf. Page 253.
Misheberach avoteinu lekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find
On a weekly basis, I'm asked by someone, whether in my family or in our congregation, about what's going to happen in Israel. I cannot predict the future, contrary to popular belief. Rabbis are not prophets. But I'm not sure that any of us can know what the results will be. I was talking with our community shaliach, our community Israeli emissary, a couple of days ago, and I asked her about her perspective on the conflict and what might happen. She said, "I don't know. I can't see what the right thing to do is in this moment, but I'm open to new ideas." That phrase, "I'm open to new ideas," struck me and has stayed with me. For so long with conflicts in Israel, it's always been about a ceasefire or a two-state solution. There has always been a binary. Those are the most likely possibilities that we hear, but perhaps there are other possibilities we are leaving out. The reform movement is having its own issues of figuring out how to respond to the challenges we see in Israel. The three topics most affecting the reform movement include how to address Israel's military campaign, what the word Zionism means, and how our core connection to Israel should be a part of being Jewish. The reform movement recently marked its 150th anniversary with a conference in Washington, D.C. last weekend. Participants discussed how to be a progressive ally of Israel in this complex time. Reform organizations like J Street and Americans for Peace Now have not emphasized a ceasefire and have said an Israeli military response in Gaza is appropriate. Instead, they have focused on calling for a more just execution of military attacks, more humanitarian aid to Gazans, and the prioritizing of freeing the hostages. These responses are not unfamiliar to us. We all want these things, but we don't know how to accomplish them in this conflict. In asking the question, what is going to happen, there is an expectation that one of us knows what's going to happen and that there is a definitive answer. Instead of answering this question, I encourage us to wrestle with the unknown. Rabbi Adina Allen of San Francisco said, "We don't have to know what comes next. In fact, we can't. We need to come into gentle contact with the unknown." As Reformed Jews, we consistently struggle with complex moral issues, drawing on the values from our Jewish upbringing, which help us offer thoughtful views on the war. But the question about whether Israel lives in our Jewish identity or not is an important one. This is a key moment for Reformed Jews, and for all of us, it's an opportunity to engage in a conversation. Our job is to move forward and have productive conversations at a table open to all viewpoints. We should be united in recognizing Israel as a core value of our Judaism. We can do better in having more open conversations and understanding that there is more than one result. We need to lean into the uncertainty to foster good discussion, helping us to learn without judgment. There are multiple definitions of the word Zionism. For example, one might say that Zionism is a movement for the establishment and now the development and protection of a Jewish nation. Or you could define it as Zionism standing for us caring deeply for the poor, including the Arab communities, and justice for the Arabs, as much as we care about having a strong Jewish state. Or it could mean being opposed to occupation and needless violence in a two-state solution. But the definition might not really matter in hindsight. Instead, the fact that there are so many definitions is what is important. That multiplicity implicitly tells us to be open-minded and understanding that because these different views could lead to positive surprises to the conflict. I'm asking you to live in uncertainty, to be comfortable being uncomfortable. When we are willing to simply entertain the idea that there may be things in our world beyond our understanding, we gain access to new perspectives and ways of being. In our Torah portion, Joseph reveals himself to his brothers and says, "Come closer to me. I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. amidst these 7 years of famine. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. Joseph could have given in to anger and resentment toward his brothers, but instead he acknowledges that his belief in God's influence in his life enables him to offer mercy and forgiveness to his brothers. In a way, Joseph is giving in to the unknown by arguing that God sent him to Egypt instead of his own brothers. The start of a new year is a natural time for openness to possibility and new connections and experiences. Perhaps Joseph's insistence that his life unfolded according to God's plan is a step too far for us. I would suggest, however, that we consider that it may be equally too far to insist that there is no God, no force or power greater than us in our lives. Joseph's story serves as a reminder not to go too far in that direction either. By limiting ourselves to what we can rationalize, we limit our ability to behold the world around us with a sense of humble awe. The middle ground is a hopeful, optimistic place. We can't be sure one way or the other, but we can be open to possibility. If we commit to walking through the world with a little bit of uncertainty, with open minds, open hearts, and open hands, we can expand our sense of holiness and connection to all that is and all that may be. May we find ourselves comfortable in our uncertainty. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue with the Aleinu. Please rise, page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, v'ateit gidulah me'otzer b'reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu Livnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
Please be seated. Page 289. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. We think of those who have passed away in recent days and weeks. We're remembering Aaron Engel, Gerald Tauber, and Steve Taub. And we think of those who have passed away during this season in years past. Francois Akar, Helene Akar, Jean Akar, Lisa Akar, Charles Osluner, Helene Osluner, Macha Osluner, Norm Cohn, Sam Daniels, Yeda Deutsch, Benjamin Foreman, Oscar Gold, Joanne G. Katz, Sarah Kejman, Simon Keshman, Max Clayman, Joseph Lambert, David Magginson, Rose Muroff, Morton Miller, Sarah Milmet, Beatrice Pacernick, Eugene Rosen, Alyssa Rosenfeld, Evelyn Rostker, Joseph Saunders, Rolf Schickler, Alan Sherwin, Charles Subelski, Morton Trotsky, and Ida Zuckerman. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so. And we rise in solidarity for the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'hayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala u'bizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'Kudashah Barichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Dalmiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya B'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav Hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, Hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimeru, Amen. Please be seated.
Announcements tonight are brought to you by past President Alan Wurmser.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you to our ushers and our stream team. On Saturday, December 30th, join us following the 11 a.m. service for our Shabbat lunch at George's Restaurant on Northwestern Highway in West Bloomfield. All are welcome. Join us on Friday, January 5th at 6 p.m. when we have our special Debbie Friedman Shabbat. TKA will honor the legacy of Debbie Friedman with Shabbat dedicated to her music and teachings. Following services, we will have our first Friday Shabbat dinner at Library Pub.
Yes, at Don Juan.
Oh, okay, at Don Juan. All are welcome to join us there. If you have any questions about the above events or RSVP, please contact the temple. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Short one.
Yes, isn't that nice? Thank you. You're welcome. Kaddish and Motzi are on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim
song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As Rabbi passes out the challah, our closing song is on page 353. And we have to do this because you can't do a blessing and then not do the thing that you just blessed for. So we need to eat the challah. So, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu on page 353 in our prayer books. We're hoping this peace will surely come by Moshe Ben Ari, a famous Israeli rock star. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
May you feel whole, knowing you are enough. May you feel confident, knowing you are prepared for what's coming. May you feel calm, knowing the storm will pass. And may you feel at peace, knowing you are loved. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for Oneg in the social hall.